Welcome to Aston Martin Mindset. My name's Alex Elaine, and in this video, I want to talk about the tech layoffs that have been hitting the technology market en masse recently. All of the big companies such as Microsoft doing tens of thousands of layoffs, Meta, i.e. Facebook, Google very recently, and Amazon, a number of all of the big players having widespread layoffs. What does this really mean? And what can you do to put yourself in a position where you feel that you have a little bit more safety in a really tough market? Now, why is all of this happening? I mean, there's many different reasons. Ultimately, it feels like over recent years, the tech ecosystem has gone through a little bit of a bubble that has burst. Through COVID and the pandemic, many companies had huge inflations. They started hiring a ton of people because actually tech became more of an important staple part of all of our lives. If we look at many of our meetings, we were doing video calls and video conferences, which made companies like Zoom grow at an astronomical pace. Companies like AWS, who host cloud infrastructure, which is really the infrastructure that a lot of our favorite applications are hosted on, also was massively more in demand because there were more tech startups and more technology companies coming to the fore as remote work continued to grow and more people were at home thinking in more innovative ways and then building and starting businesses and scaling. So many companies just started hiring and hiring and hiring, bringing on new talent to deal with all of this demand. We've then come out of the pandemic and everything has slowed down tremendously. People have started going back to the offices, getting back to normality, and a lot of these companies are now bloated. They hired more people than they needed irresponsibly and weren't considerate of the fact that things might start to slow down and whether there would really be enough work for all of the people that they then hired during that time. So when we then start to look ahead, what can we be doing as employees to put yourself in the best possible position to try and be safe in what is a continually evolving market that we don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow? Ultimately, you want to put yourself in a position where you're as of tremendous value to your company, your employer, or the people around you. Now, how do you go about doing that? You've got to look at the department that you're in and the type of work that you're doing and really assess, is this mission critical to the company? Am I making some form of material impact to the success, the failure, or anything in between for the company and the team that I'm representing? If you're not, you've got to really think about how you can put yourself in a position where you build your internal brand and you start to get involved with projects that are of critical importance to where your company needs to head. The reality is if you're not in that position, if you've not built a great internal network with the people that truly matter in the exec positions that are making these types of decisions, or you're not directly involved with a team, a department, an initiative, a project, or revenue, something that is connected to the success or the failure of your company, there's a level of exposure and scrutiny that you're likely to have as your company if they choose to go through some kind of assessment process to really figure out whether they need to condense their workforce or not. So again, try and think about how you can connect yourself to revenue, something that's mission critical for any company. Try and think about how you can connect yourself to special projects and initiatives that are mission critical for the business, and try and think about execs in the company. How can you create alignment? Can you reach out to them and ask them, how can I be helpful? Is there anything more that I can be doing? Be open and authentic and transparent. I work, of course, within the software sales industry, and we're seeing a big hit, and certainly, lower performers are in more jeopardy than top performers for obvious reasons, right? Top performers are putting numbers in the bank, lower performers, it's difficult. So if you're also a lower performer right now is absolutely the time to try and reassess your performance, look at where you are, model yourself on those elite performers, and try and start figuring out how you can drive up the numbers to de-risk your exposure during this landscape. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or any other channel if I can be helpful, certainly as we go through this difficult time. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.